guys, Shannon Robnett with the Real Estate Rundown. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you're finding value in these podcasts. I wanted to kind of take a minute today and just ask you guys some questions. So often we focus on what we're focusing on, and a lot of times we forget to look up and look around. You know, right now is kind of a crazy time. There's a lot of things happening in marketplaces, and there's things going on. And everything about real estate, right, is about thinking, about analyzing, about dialing into the numbers, about finding the truth in all of this, finding the value in what's being projected. So you've got a realtor that says this thing cash flows $65,000 a year. You've looked at it 6 ways to sideways. You can see that there's $100,000 in income, but there's $48,000 in expenses. There's always upgrades that need to be done. There's always things that are happening. You're the first one to ferret it out and go, hey, this thing's not making $65,000 a year. It's making $62,000 a year, and $62,000 a year means that the cap rate that we're projecting, this property's not worth what you're asking for it. And that's where negotiation begins on your part, right? But what I want to ask you guys, when was the last time you negotiated with the news media? And what I mean by that is, when was the last time you read the whole story, then took that story apart and looked at the facts in that story, and then analyzed the facts in that story against another story or another source for facts like that? Because, guys, we see this every day in real estate where this is considered an expense. No, it's a long-term, it's a rehab, so it's carpet is not an expense for today. It's something that we expense out over an extended period of time, right? So that's not something that we're putting in our T12, right? So there's different places for things to go, but I would ask you, in this time that we're in, how many of you are reading the headline and passing the information along? Well, if you're listening on the podcast and you can't see me, I got my hand in the air because I'm guilty as charged. But what I want you guys to understand is that passing the information along after you've vetted it with your 2 cents is what you're supposed to do. That's helping others, right? Passing it along without reading it, without checking the source, well, that's being part of the problem, in my opinion. Understanding the information. So there's a lot of information flying around right now that landlords are going to get creamed. Nobody's paying rent. Cities are forgiving rent. Everybody should not have to pay rent or a mortgage during this time because everybody's having issues. Well, guys, you're correct. Everybody's having issues. But not everybody's having issues getting paid. Not everybody's having issues putting in the time they need to get the full paycheck or their salary. Not everybody has been laid off. Those that have, 3.3 million last week, 1% of the adult population in the United States, that contributed to a 1% growth in the unemployed in our nation. That statistic is being construed to say that there were 30% increase in unemployment. There's other ones that I've seen that have put the compounding of several 1,000%, and I don't know exactly what it is, but if there was 138,000 people filed for unemployment the week before, and then there was 3.3 million, we can simply use a calculator to figure out what kind of gain that was. But at the end of the day, guys, those stats all say the same thing, and how you interpret them is entirely up to you. So the reason I'm saying this, guys, is when you read a news article and it says that the number of people that were infected with this virus has doubled overnight, and there's 50 people, that truly is doubling. But compared to what? Compared to what? So what I want you guys to be doing is taking your facts, taking your investigative skills that you use in your market deals all the time, that you're able to come up with great ROIs, and you're able to decipher whether you've got a 1.5 debt coverage ratio or a 1.7, right, debt coverage ratio. The only way you're going to cover that is by digging into your facts. Do the same with your news media. Do the same with your social media before you repost it. Do these things so that you can make sure that when you're taking the opportunity to educate the people around you, you're giving them good, solid data. Okay? There's a lot of information out there. There's a book that I've been reading. Hold on, I'm going to look it up real quick. It's by I believe he's from the Netherlands. And it is a great book because it talks about what's really going on and it's called Factfulness by Hans Riesling. And Hans talks about the context that the facts are taken in. So if we look at the context that we've lost $3.3 million during, or 3.3 jobs in the middle of a pandemic that is unprecedented in history, and we came off of a 3.8% unemployment, and we will probably see things return to normal in everybody's opinion in the next 3 months. Will we go back to 3.6% unemployment? Will we peak at 7%, which is still inside the range of a decent, healthy economy? 7% is getting a little borderline, right? But still. So I want you guys to be doing that. Take your investigative selves out of your spreadsheets and apply them to your news media feeds. Guys, it's Shannon Robnett with the Real Estate Rundown. Thank you for tuning into this episode. Stay safe. We'll talk to you soon.